You are watching the Stripped Down Halloween Special 2009 live from the shores of Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. And tonight on Stripped Down, ladies and gentlemen, Old Joe and the Truth Hurts. Watching the Stripped Down Halloween Special 2009. We are here on the shores of Camp Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. Yes, there is a Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. Yes, Stripped Down drove 3.5 hours from Saskatoon to Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan to make these poor guys sit on the shore and play just because it's Halloween, it's Crystal Lake. What else can you do? Welcome to Stripped Down, you guys.
Thanks very much.
You guys look a little chilly.
Well,
chilly
it's cold.
And tired.
A little bit.
You came in from Edmonton this morning. You drove all night. So it's pretty much been gig, drive. Did you have a chance to sleep at all?
A couple hours.
Yeah. Did you have trouble finding Crystal Lake?
No.
Did you know there's a Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan?
I did. I was here 20 years ago.
20 years ago. What brought you to Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan?
It was between Saskatoon and Winnipeg, sort of.
Fair enough.
My dad knew a guy here.
Hey, Devin, welcome back to Stripped Down.
Thanks for
You've had
having
an
me.
interesting run on Stripped Down.
Yeah.
Most people come, sit on the couches, play a couple songs, have a good time. You came here as part of the new Jacobin Club summer special a year and a half ago.
That's right. I've never seen this comfy on the couch thing you speak of. It's not for me.
Okay, here we are. Thoughts for tonight? You ready to have some fun?
Yeah,
ready to make some Canadian, Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, Crystal Lake television history?
Yes, we are.
Tell me a little bit about Old Joe and the Truth Hurts. This is not the full band.
That's right. We started the band about 5 years ago. We were out of the gates like racehorses when we started the band. We recorded an album as soon as we started jamming, basically. We put it out. We had a great response to it, and then we pretty much stopped. And we played very little over the past about 3 years.
It's a smart business move, really. You just halt all momentum you build up. And that's where we're at.
Yeah, but now we're going to kick it back up. We're going to start recording an album in a couple of weeks, and we've been discussing about a 5-year plan to release 9 albums.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quite ambitious.
What kept stalling Old Joe and the Truth Hurts' progress?
Life happens.
Life. We all play
Other
in different
projects.
groups.
That's a big thing too. At one point I was up to 7 bands at one time. Joe was up to
Just
16
only,
quadrillion.
Only 4.
Only 4.
Only 4 at a time.
Yeah, we're pretty busy guys as a whole.
It's busy. Guys in the band have had babies. Their wives had. None of the men have yet.
Yeah, well,
You could use that as a platform, though.
we'll see.
Okay, so why pick it up again now? What was time?
Why now? We've got tons of songs. We like recording. We had a great time doing the first album. We miss that.
Absolutely.
And it's time. We've got all these songs. Some we've been playing for 2 to 3 years. And people say, when are you going to record these songs, man?
Some we've been playing longer. We released our CD almost 5 years ago, and that opening night show to release the CD, we played 2 songs that were going to be on the next upcoming one.
Yeah.
That's going to be the one we do, 5 years later. So we've had these songs for a bit.
It's time.
Okay, so what's going to be different about the next album from the first album? Like 100 band changes, or?
A little bit. Mostly the same, but the second album is going to be pretty similar. We went over the top on the first album. We got basically every musician that we knew to play on it, and I think we'll do the same time around.
The wind and fire noise behind you makes you uneasy. Don't worry, everything's under control. If it falls in the lake,
one's hanging.
I think we're gonna be okay. Huge props to the man who set this up, our director, Jay Neufeld. He's wandering around somewhere. I don't know, there's some crazy locals here too. We drove into Crystal Lake early afternoon, started setting up. It's been a wild ride. Thank you again for coming out and doing
Hey! What are you boys doing out here? What are you doing?
Just came to play some songs.
That's cool.
What's going on, buddy?
Nothing. Everything's cool. Don't worry about it.
Just taking a stroll through
all good.
Crystal Lake at night.
Yeah.
That's probably not the smartest thing to do, sir.
No, it's a perfectly safe place, and don't worry.
That is
all
a
right?
fantastic mustache.
You're good boys. You'll be okay.
All right. Well,
You just keep going and don't worry.
thanks, sir. Thanks for walking through our set.
Yeah.
All right. Crystal Lake local, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, let's get to the second song. But first of all, what was the first song?
That first song, that's new. That's the first time we've ever played it. It's an instrumental, as you can tell. It's called Heartbeat.
It's also the first time we played it, as you can tell.
Fantastic. You'll always have a story to tell now. First time we played this, we were, ankle deep in the Crystal Lake water.
Yeah, knee deep for me. I'm very short.
Fair enough. Okay, what's the second song, you guys? It's Halloween, man.
Halloween? Okay, well,
With that in mind,
You gonna spook it up?
we don't have too many spooky songs. We're not that scary of a band. But why don't we do Heaven's Bound?
let's do it.
This is a song that was on our first CD, and it was definitely the most instrumented song on that disc. We probably had at least 15 different, maybe 20 different musicians play on that on the CD. So Stripped Down is the name of the show. This is Stripped Down, Heaven's Bound right here.
Here we go. Fantastic.
Okay.
Take it away.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Church bells ringing down from every part of town, but I ain't got a penny when they pass that part around. Eternity's for everyone with just a couple of hitches. If you want to save a place, hand over your riches. Serve humanity. Ha ha! The Reverend said, well, that's nice, but son, salvation isn't free. Now fork it over. Beware of immorality. There is a group among us who ain't no respects to Jesus. They spend their nights in dirty bars and cities to entertain you. but I ain't got a penny when they pass that pot around. If those church bells ring, it tells me God is all around. I know no matter where I am, His love is surely found. Well, when those church bells ring, fill the cities with their sound, I'll be sleeping in on Sunday. I already know I'm heaven bound.
Nicely done.
Thank you, you too.
Fantastic. You are watching the Stripped Down Halloween Special 2009, coming to you guys from the shores of Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. It's a spooky night. It's Halloween, guys. That song was fantastic.
Thank you.
You said you were creepy, but it had kind of a weird vibe when you play it out here in the middle of the night on the shores of Crystal Lake. Because bad things happen at Crystal Lake. You guys look really cold. Starting to shake a little bit.
Yeah, but we're gonna keep soldiering on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we do have to gear up for our first commercial break, so we'll restoke the fire. We'll get a little heat, warm those fingers up. What was that last song about? That was a fantastic song.
That song, it's basically about the expectation that some religious organizations have that you should pay your way into heaven, rather than be a good guy.
Or gal.
Yeah, enough money will get you there.
The powers that be like that one. The flames were going crazy when you were telling that story.
Does that mean that we are in trouble or that we're okay?
I don't know, but hopefully we'll come back from our first commercial break. Stick around, we got lots more of the Stripped Down Halloween Special 2009 from the shores of Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan with Old Joe and The Truth Hurts.
Ultimo Uramoda Men's Clothing Store. Denim, footwear, leather jackets, sportswear. 204 3rd Avenue South, Saskatoon. Call 664-6640.
You are watching the Stripped Down Halloween Special 2009. I am your host, Curtis Anderson. We are on the banks of Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. Yes, there is a Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. As soon as we heard that, Jay Neufeld, our director of Stripped Down, looked at me and said, "We got to do the Halloween episode from Crystal Lake." Old Joe and The Truth Hurts, out here, being soldiers. How are you guys feeling? A little
Feeling
chilly?
great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just had an energy drink. Now I'm cold. I don't know if that was a good call or not. I wanted the energy drink, but yeah. Okay. Anyways,
Where
Swimming.
I come from, we got an energy drink called hot coffee.
yes, this is also true.
I hear swimming is a total body workout that'll warm you up. You can take a dip.
Afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna get to the next song, but first of all, you want to tell a story about Train real quick.
Well, yeah, because last year I went on a tour called The Great Train Reverie. It was with a few other songwriters from Saskatoon and a fiddle player. And when we were on that trip, one of the things we wanted to do was learn about trains, and we did. We saw some museums, and we met with the engineers and the whole shebang. But there's a story that I heard on this trip that is pretty interesting. That it took place in Banff in the late 70s, early 80s. And there was a guy who lived in Banff, and he was a steam mechanic, boiler mechanic. He would go into hotels. He had basically two goals in life. One was to make money, and the other one was to drink beer. And the first goal supported the second goal, basically. So he would go into hotels and offer to give a free inspection on their boilers. So he'd walk in and go downstairs and sabotage them, put a tiny puncture into them and say, this needs to be fixed. It should be fixed right away. And, it's a Sunday. You're not going to find anybody to fix it. Like, I can do it. And, for maybe a couple dozen beer, we'll just call it good. And so he did that a lot. There was a day he was working on a steam locomotive, and it was a Sunday. He needed beer. He couldn't get into town, and the liquor store was closed. Anyways. So he knew about a guy down the tracks, about 20 miles, who he made his own beer at home, and he figured if only we could get to this guy, we could get some beer. So he knows how to run the trains. He knows the train schedule because he works down at the rail yard all day long every day. And he figures we take one of these locomotives down the tracks to his place, we can load up with beer there and be back before the next freight comes through. So his friends think that's maybe not a great idea, but they all say, okay, well, we'll do it, we trust you. So they get in the train, they go down, they load up with beer, and they start heading back. But what none of the guys on the train realize is that everybody is just sitting around drinking beer, and nobody's shoveling coal into the engine. And so what happens is the train stalls. It takes quite a bit of time for the steam pressure to build up enough to get the train going. And the train is stuck on the tracks there. And he knows there's another freight coming right away. So they send a guy flag down this train and stop it so that it doesn't smash into our engine that we stole. And so they do, and everything's cool. Two of the guys run off into the bushes afterwards because they don't want to get caught. And he's stuck there in the middle of nowhere with this engine that he swiped. And so naturally the train company, whichever one it was, is not impressed with him, and they tried to charge him with theft. But the thing about theft is that you only stole something once you've left the premises. So for example, if you go into a store and eat a chocolate bar, as long as you pay for it before you leave, you haven't stolen, you know? Or if you put something in your pocket,
Yeah.
you haven't stolen it until you've walked out the door. Same is true with the train. So because the company owns the tracks and the train, as long as the train is on the tracks, if you don't take it off, you haven't stolen it. So he was prosecuted, and in court, his lawyer just kept saying, so the train never left the tracks. No, sir. You didn't take it off the tracks. No, and eventually the judge figured out, I see where you're going with this, and the case was thrown out. And so the guy got off scot-free.
So you can't steal a train is the moral of the story. Well, a lot of work would have to go into it.
It's easier to puncture hotels' boilers for beer than to steal trains. It's probably a more important moral.
There you go.
I can't decide if that was a good campfire story or not. It was a good story nonetheless.
Oh, I got another one for you later.
Okay, we'll have it after. This is awesome, you guys.
Autofocus works when you're in the automobile.
My nose is...
Your nose is hot, Eric.
I probably...
I don't
Thank you.
mean it like that, but that came out totally wrong.
That's not what I meant.
Sure. Creepy.
He took the midnight train going anywhere.
Santa Claus.
Yeah! Well, that was 10 Shades of Fun. Eric Steiner, what's going on? 10 Shades,
And had ones for Christmas.
Is it Santa's face? That's just creepy as all. Alright. Any other humor up here? I really don't think I can get down. How all the sexy teenagers felt just before. And I think Sal's dead. Sal, I'm sorry you were the first to go. I sent you with that guy that we don't know who it is. He was like,
We just met him.
he was like, come on, I'll get you kids a fire pit. Come with me.
We'll drive over the truck. I just need one of you though. That's all. Just one.
What else do you need, Eric?
More things to burn. More things to burn.
What you doing there, Joe?
I'm standing in the lake, pounding in sticks. My brain hurts. That's how you make TV. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
That sound.
I didn't hear anything, man.
It sounded like breathing.
My log fell over. Old Joe and the Truth Hurts out here on the shores of Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. You had another story. You've told us about trains. You have another campfire story here for Halloween 2009.
This is the scariest campfire story I've ever heard.
Okay.
I worked at a summer camp about 10 years ago, St. John Bosco
Summer
camp.
camps,
Oh
they're
no,
kinda
this
dangerous.
guy's back. Oh jeez.
We used to have a summer camp around here, you know, years ago, but we don't got.
You're bleeding.
Oh, there's something. There's nothing. Nothing's going on. Everything's great. And the summer camp we closed just because there was no interest. It's all good. Crystal Lake is a beautiful place to take your family and friends, and it's okay. It's a beautiful place. Nothing ever goes wrong here. It's good.
Movies have taught us nothing ever goes wrong in Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Okay, you might want to go. Oh, geez, you might want to go get that checked out. Sir.
Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry. Just keep playing your music, but just watch the trees. Just watch. All right.
All right, do a lot.
You take care, buddy.
Thanks, sir. All right. So I can prop this thing back up. Your second story, sir. What's it about? This is
Okay.
the best campfire story you have.
Okay, yeah, there's a guy. He was from China and he came to work at the summer camp with us.
We're actually close now. Suddenly.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. You guys get comfortable.
All right.
He came to Canada to go to school, and he came to the summer camp to learn to speak English because he wasn't doing too well. And we'd been up there telling all these same stories every night, getting kind of bored of them. And one night we were sleeping in the same tent. He said, "I have a story that I'd like to tell, but I don't know if my English is good enough." And I said, "Try me out." So this is the story he told. The story is, there was a guy that he knew back in Shanghai whose name was Ming. And Ming was a student like in medicine. He was going to be a doctor. He was a graduate student, and he lived. Shanghai is on the east coast of China, and he was from the far west. And so he stayed in Shanghai all year round. He never went home at all when he was in university. And one summer, he was at school. He was a grad student, so he did a lot of research, whatever they do. He had the keys and access to all the labs and everything. And he came in one morning into one of the labs, and one of the drawers they keep the cadavers in was open. And he walked up, he looked in, and the body was there, but the head was smashed open, and the brains were like out of the head and around.
Halloween, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. And naturally, Ming was quite scared by this, and I'm like, what's going on here, He talked to security and the police and everything, and they looked at it and they thought, like pranks, whatever, it's cadavers, we got like real live people that are getting crimes committed against them that we gotta take care of, so they didn't do much about it. But he was pretty puzzled by the whole thing, and a few weeks later the same thing happened again. He came in one morning, the drawer was open and the body's there, and the head was smashed open with the brains out. And so he decided, if anyone's gonna figure this out, it was him. So he borrowed a video camera from a friend of his and just set it to film all night long in the lab, every night, until finally one day he came in, and sure enough, the body was head smashed and brains everywhere. And so he watched the video back, and he could hear someone walking down the hall, unlocking the lab, and then you could see the silhouette of the person come into the room and open the drawer and take a little hammer and smash the head until it broke open, and then eat the brains. But he couldn't see who it was because it was dark in the lab. So now he's really freaked out. So he decides, I gotta catch this guy. The only thing I can do is catch him. So he starts sleeping in the lab. and he's got a watch with a little alarm. It's set to go off every couple hours, like, boop, 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 boop. You know. So he sleeps in the lab every night, and then finally one night he wakes up with his alarm, boop, 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 and he's like disoriented when he wakes up, and he finds himself standing over this cadaver with the brains smashed out of the head and a spoon in his hand and something in his mouth, and he realizes that he's been sleepwalking into this lab and eating brains of cadavers. And then after that, he went nuts. And they put him in the,
After that.
after that, he went nuts. And all his friends were confused, and they thought, well, it's because that part of China where he's from, monkey brains is one of these things that people eat. You know, and maybe he'd eaten it before, or he wanted to eat it, and he's dreaming about it, or whatever. And
That's a good story.
That's how it went.
I'm very surprised. I thought Devin would be bringing the scary stories. I mean, New Jacobin, you guys must have some pretty awesome stories, you know, with the kind of music and the venues you play and the crowds you bring in.
You'd think so.
You know?
No.
Really?
I don't know. It's the New Jacobin Club. I don't know. Nothing comes to mind.
Really?
We just got off a couple tours and pretty mellow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The next album's gonna be like a jazz
Yeah.
acoustic.
Yeah.
It's going to be all Rod Stewart
Yeah.
covers?
Yeah, Rod Stewart, Elton John.
All right.
Yeah.
What is the next song you guys are going to play tonight from Old Joe The Truth Hurts?
We're gonna play a song called Smile Baby. Smile Baby.
Is the whole smashing and eating brains a good segue into the song? The song sounds a little more uplifting.
Yeah. Because my wife will be mad at me when she sees the episode. So this song I wrote for her for our wedding day. I sang it to her at our wedding. It was the first time she ever heard it. So
There's nothing more Halloween than that. Take it away, you guys.
smile, baby, everything ain't so bad. We got a roof over our heads. Got a lot of fancy things that our ancestors never had. Smile, baby, it's all gonna be alright. Bills are getting paid. We got meals on our table every night. Just lean on my shoulder when you're having a bad day. When crying is over, I'll wipe the tears away. It's all gonna be alright. It's all gonna be alright. It's all gonna be alright. So smile, baby, everything ain't so bad. We got a roof over our heads. Got a lot of fancy things that our ancestors never had. Smile, baby, it's all gonna be alright. Bills are getting paid. Got meals on our table every night. You know I can't help it but singing these songs. So don't get too lonely if you can't come along. I'll be there with you in sound. I'll be there with you in sound. I'll be there with you in sound. So smile, baby, maybe I'm out of town, but that don't mean I ain't around. Just put on my CDs and I'll be there with you in sound. Smile, baby, know that you're not alone. Rest assured before too long, well, you know it, I will be coming home. And as long as it seems like the sun isn't shining, well, I'll be there pointing out silver linings. Maybe the sky is gray, or maybe the sky is gray, maybe the sky is gray. So smile, baby, maybe the sky is gray. Well, that's too bad, who's to say? Can't figure out a way to brighten up a rainy day. Smile, baby, don't sit around and cry. Take a good look in my eyes, where you'll find the love that lights the sky. So that's my message, and I hope you receive it. I'll have my own days when I need help to believe it. Follow your own advice, follow your own advice, follow your own advice. And smile, baby, follow your own advice. Don't make me have to say it twice. Those pearly whites are nicer than two lips closed up tight. Smile, baby, together we're standing tall, and that's the way it's gonna be from this day on, forever after all.
Old Joe and the Truth Hurts playing actually in Crystal Lake here in Saskatchewan. I'd like to point out Crystal Lake. For the most part, for the Friday the 13th movies, the franchise, it's fictitious. There is no actual Crystal Lake. It's just a lake they made up for the purpose of the franchise. And we have one in Saskatchewan.
Did they know?
I don't think they knew. People should know. And we will talk about the Friday the 13th franchise. Jason Voorhees. We'll talk Halloween after this next commercial break. Stick around. We got lots more Halloween 2009 stripped down special coming up right after this. Escape sports gear and equipment for longboarding, freeline skating, kiteboarding, unicycling, extra cycling, dirt surfing, and mountain boarding. For more information on sales and rentals, www.escapesports.ca. All right, we are burning through our Halloween special here on Strip Down 2009. Now I'm joined by one of Crystal Lake's residents, Dave Masters. Can you believe we've set up here on the shores of Crystal Lake to do a Halloween special? First of all, how many people actually are aware there is a Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan? Of course, that comes with a lot of folklore because that's where Jason Voorhees comes every summer to claim his victims. Do a lot of people know about Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan?
Oh, indeed. Residents here and families come from a wide area of Canada. Crystal Lake has one of the cleanest source of water supplies of any lake in Saskatchewan. The name Crystal Lake came from the term the crystal clear water, and that's how it's got its name back in the early 1900s when it was settled.
25 years ago, they made the movie Friday the 13th, where, as I mentioned, Jason Voorhees came every summer and did horrible things to camp counselors. It's a, incredibly big franchise. Everybody loves Friday the 13th. Do you get any like weirdos coming here just because it's Crystal Lake? Are we the first? Do you guys? Is it an issue? Like, do people come and want to say they stayed in Crystal Lake?
Well, no, I don't think that has ever arisen as a serious issue. And I'm surprised because when I knew that you wished to do a little article here and a presentation, ask a few people locally, and it's surprising how many either didn't follow the horror movie genre from those times or were unaware, but others are quite aware. Oh yeah, Crystal Lake. And newcomers, especially from outside the area, when they arrive, they're named Crystal Lake, and Jason does ring a bell.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to get back to the 2009 Strip Down Halloween special from right here at Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. You are watching the Strip Down Halloween special 2009. We are set up on the shores of Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. No one else is going to do this but Strip Down. Once again, Old Joe and the Truth Hurts.
If your alarm clock starts buzzing, I'm gonna smash it against the wall. But give your rooster some chickadees to sing your wake-up call. And this is the life I'm gonna build for you. I'm gonna learn some lullabies to sing you, and the babies when they call. I'm gonna grow you vegetable garden so you know where the food is from. And this is the life I'm gonna build for you. I'm gonna take your shirt, throw it away so I can feel your body next to mine. Try to make your hurts go away when you had that ending to unwind. Gonna go to the beach where we can play with a little bit of rum and a little bit of lime. We'll be drinking out of coconut shells, building castles with the sands of time. I believe what they said you can do when you're dead in love. 'Cause I live in it. Things are just fast, don't waste too many making cash if you make peace and love, Mary Emily. No need for fireworks when we can go watch electrical storms. Don't need furnaces, 'cause I'm gonna hold you close to keep you warm. This is the life I'm gonna build for you. Every chance we get, we'll go someplace we've never been. We're gonna teach our kids there's more to life what you see on the TV screen. This is the life I'm gonna build for you. I believe what they said when you're dead in love. 'Cause I live in it. Days are just last. We're making cash, we're making peace and love and marriage. when the skies are clear, we can learn about the constellations and try to tell each other some Morse codes. When the rain's calling down, we can decode the precipitations. Secret message countdown and horoscopes. This is my promise to do what I can do to make these and other dreams we have come true. This is the life that I'm gonna build for you.
Old Joe and the Trooper playing around and in Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. How are the feet?
A little soggy?
A little soggy.
Yeah.
I have finally pushed through the cold. I'm in a good place now. But before we talk about Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees, the Crystal Lake phenomena, take me back to the last day and a half of your life. I don't think we've talked about this nearly enough. You guys are troopers?
Absolutely. This is true. This is the case. We played a show last night in Edmonton, Alberta, and then we promptly packed up, got in the van, and drove back to Saskatchewan. Had about an hour and a half sleep each.
So what time did you drive back?
Well,
we got back at about 10:30. We left after the show was all done and all packed up, so we hit the road about 3 in the a.m.
Yeah. Had a little hour snooze on the way.
Yeah.
Just
Side of the road.
We didn't want to crash into anyone or anything, so the responsible thing was to pull over at that time and have a little hour. That got us going again.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I called you on the phone not 2 weeks ago, Joey. Pitched this idea to you. Oh, he's back.
Oh, hey,
oh, jeez.
You guys, you're still here. That's good. That's good. So anything out? Anything weird?
No, sir. Just you.
Dude walking around.
Like really?
Yeah, no, that's good, man. That's good. Just keep yourself alert. Keep yourself prepared. All right? Yeah.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, well, it's all right. I got medication.
You. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You know what? If I can give you.
Yeah. Sorry. What? Okay. What?
If I can give you some advice about Crystal Lake, try not to be around sexy teenagers at night. Okay. Bad thing.
I got no problem with that.
All right, sir. Can we continue on with our TV? Oh, okay. You better go check that out. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're looking at. You're freaking me out.
I got what's going on.
All right.
I got. You guys take care, right? All right.
Okay.
What were we talking about? Before the interlude?
The road.
Yeah,
The road.
Life on the road.
Life on the road.
Yeah.
So you drove back. Okay, I called you. What was the first thing that went through your head when I pitched this crazy idea to you?
That guy's got a crazy idea. He wants me to go swimming in October. That was pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you were down. Good.
Yeah, I like crazy ideas.
Okay.
Don't you?
I absolutely do. Everybody on Strip Down enjoys crazy ideas. I think that's what keeps the show fresh each and every week. Again, you never know when the new Jackman Club's going to be in there. You never know. Like last year for Halloween, we took Ryan Bolt, lead singer of the Deep Dark Woods, out into the Deep Dark Woods. It set the bar pretty high. I think it's safe to say we've kind of obliterated it this year. Thank you guys for your commitment. Absolutely. The 1 hour sleep, the 9 hours of driving the last day, the freezing, the feet in the water.
Indeed.
All to say we did it.
All in a day's work.
We haven't gone swimming yet either.
No, there were some naysayers who told us that, why don't you just go get a shot of the Crystal Lake Saskatchewan sign, then set up in
Blue screen us in?
pretty much. Yeah. Go set up in someone's backyard. It'll be dark. No one will know. We don't fool the viewers here on Strip Down. We wouldn't do that. If there's one legit show, it is Strip Down. Friday the 13th. Jason Voorhees. You guys fans?
Never actually seen one.
Come on!
Never have.
They remade it this year, 2009. You've never seen a Friday the 13th movie.
Maybe it's time.
I think it is time.
Well, now that I've been here,
So you're coming here, you don't know the whole folklore and everything about Crystal Lake?
Mike Myers. No, Jason Voorhees.
Wow. Oh man, Old Joe and the Truth are ashamed. I'm stripped down.
You're a fan, Devin?
Well,
you've seen some movies?
I've seen...
did you understand the getup, the costume? Jason Voorhees? Okay.
Everybody understands the costume. But
yes.
I haven't seen them. When I was a little boy, my mommy didn't let me watch those kinds of films.
Fair enough.
So...
Well, I got no no props for the NJC thing now.
Yeah, no.
I'm showing my true colors. I'm just a wussy boy.
Saskatoon's goth metal warlords. And you
Perhaps I should have gone with a Little Orphan Annie theme for Halloween. You guys would have been all over that, maybe. All right.
Would have been
before the fingers get too cold, let's go right into another song. What's up?
What's gonna be, Dev?
Good question. What do we got?
We know about 30 songs.
Usually there's song lists on the ground. Did yours float away or?
In my pocket. But I thought it would be completely unprofessional to pull it out during the taping and look at it.
There is no such thing as unprofessional. That's the one rule of Strip Down. There are no rules.
Yeah, let's do One of These Days.
This song is called One of These Days.
Take it away.
I wrote this song when I always used to see this one person at the bar, and I had a big crush on her. I don't write too many songs about girls, but this one is. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm pretty sure that one of these days you're gonna get a drunken phone call in the middle of the night from a lonely boy who's wasted away, begging you to come on over, 'cause I'm having a bad time. I see them smoke cigarettes, one after another, trying to figure out where to make you think I should be your lover, but I haven't figured that out yet. I'm pretty sure that one of these days you'll decide that our time together is very well spent. I'm pretty sure that one of these days I'll decide that drinking alone is always better with a friend. Why don't we sit in a dark room drinking cheap wine straight from the bottle? At the end of the night, we'll both decide you're probably too drunk to walk home. Well, I guess you gotta stay the night. Ow! Still at the furnace as hot as it goes. Still it's so how we can handle giving it clothes on. I think I know how we can have a good time, sharing, smoking a bottle of wine. Hoping we'll start on the story that goes on and on and on and on and on.
Quick stop there. You're watching the 2009 stripped down Halloween special from Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. Old Joe and the Truth Hurts pounding out another song. Okay, I'll give you guys really quickly the Coles notes. Everything I know about Friday the 13th franchise in like 30 seconds.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, the thing about Friday the 13th, what makes it so successful, is they have no recurring actors or actresses. Anybody can play Jason, and every single teenager gets killed in the movie. So they go in and they spend like $2 million and they make 20. Basically, it's a guy who drowned in the lake because the camp counselors were having sex and not paying attention to the kids. He came back as a freak, and now he kills sexy teenagers. That's the premise of the first movie.
Revenge.
Repeat another 15 times, and there you go. That's everything you need to know about Friday the 13th. Jason doesn't die. He comes back every movie and just takes revenge on the, well, they're stupid, sexy teenagers that keep coming back to Camp Crystal Lake each and every year. There it is.
That would have made the papers at some point.
What do you think?
But actually, I have seen Freddy vs. Jason, and that was pretty rock and roll.
Yeah. Are you fans of horror movies in general? Like, what do you do for Halloween normally, Joey?
I usually try and dress up in the silliest costume I can.
Okay.
I don't have any like set ritual. Like
what would a silly costume be?
One year I made a white-tailed deer costume, got some shed antlers and put them on one of those Viking helmets from San Francisco. Sewed myself an all-brown suit with a white belly and I went out dancing, and there's this real tall dude out at the club, and I kept poking him in the head with my antler. That's sort of a typical Halloween for me.
You went as the Hamburglar one year.
I went as the Hamburglar one year. I have like slight skills on a sewing machine, so
Nice.
I've made a Halloween costume or two.
I remember asking.
Economics paid off.
There you go. I remember asking you, Devin, when the new Jacobin Club was on Stripped Down. Said you guys must have crazy Halloween stories, and once again, you guys were like, no. We kind of take it easy because that's when all the wannabes come out. Every other day is basically Halloween for you guys, except Halloween.
I'm a wannabe. I'm fairly new to the whole shock rock scene, but the fine young lads in the new Jacobin Club have introduced me to a wide array of awesome old B horror movies, and I've actually taken a liking to them now.
So what's it like being in both these bands? How do they, other than the obvious, how do they differ?
Well, geez, they're miles apart. What maybe more importantly than what differs is what's the same, and what's the same is like all the people involved in either band are wholeheartedly awesome musicians and awesome people to be around, and that's one of the stunning similarities, and that's why I'm pretty blessed to play with all the people I do. And yeah, but I mean, differences are quite obvious. I mean, I don't wear a mask and a cape and swords over my back in this band.
Yet.
That's on the next album, I guess. Yeah, but I get to cover a few different slivers of my musical interests with my various projects that I'm involved in. So,
is there any sort of message or like persona Old Joe and the Truth Hurts wants to put out there?
Basically, we're just like upbeat people. You know, we try to keep a positive attitude about things, and like everybody knows that there's lots of things going on around the world that are bad, and there's also good things, and you know, we try and just stay positive. You know, my songs usually have that kind of message, and there's something good. Like the songs that I have that are angry, even them, they're really fun. So just have a good time.
Well, we have to take our last commercial break, but stick around. We are coming to you once again from the banks of Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. It is Halloween 2009. We have Old Joe and the Truth Hurts, and we wrap up with the band coming up right after this commercial break.
Mother's Music provides a wide range of instruments. 617 8th Street East, Saskatoon. Operating for 17 years with music lessons, equipment sales, and rentals. Mother's Music, www.mothersmusic.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the shores of Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. This is the Stripped Down Halloween Special 2009, Old Joe and the Truth Hurts.
4, 5, 6. Outside the cities, I'll see loneliness. We chase pretty dreams around colorful sunny days. Giving an It's never boring, there's always something here to see. Get outside, open your eyes, you gotta see it for yourself now. Don't take it from me, I do believe you'll find a new appreciation for this creation which defies imagination. And if we wish to preserve the things we like, all we gotta do is just reduce, reuse, recycle.
Old Joe and the Truth Hurts. You are watching the stripped down Halloween special 2009, coming to you from the shores of Crystal Lake.
That's right, Crystal Lake.
Jeez.
Crystal Lake.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. You're looking oh, your hat's cut now. You
Oh,
okay,
no,
dude?
I did that. It was an accident with a wood chop. That's a chop.
Fell down the stairs.
You're having a rough night, sir. Crystal Lake,
everything
Saskatchewan.
is great. I didn't mention zombies. I don't. Who's talking zombies? There's no zombies. There's not a zombie problem. There hasn't been a zombie problem. And all the teenagers are alive and singing in the place where they sing, the happy place. Hey, you're that band, that Old Joe.
That's right.
Yeah. What you guys doing over here? Can I have a CD?
Yeah, 25 bucks for you, sir.
All right, I got money in my
Your cabin, right?
Yeah.
You stored all your money in the rundown abandoned amusement park back there, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I gotta go. Stay.
Alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Get a band-aid for that.
yeah. And I love you.
Yeah.
And I love you. And
Oh no.
and I gotta go. I gotta. There's no zombies. Bye bye.
I don't know what to say after that. We've been having a lot of fun with Crystal Lake tonight.
Thanks a lot for
The
having
whole
us out here.
folklore, Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees.
And Mike Myers.
That is the fictional Crystal Lake. I would like to point out that Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan does not make a habit of killing its sexy teenagers. That's the made up part for the franchise and for the purposes of the Hollywood Friday the 13th. Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan, actually a really beautiful place. You wouldn't know because it's in the middle of October and we're freezing and we're playing in the water, but that's what Stripped Down will give you. Huge thanks to you guys tonight. Old Joe and the Truth Hurts. Played Edmonton last night, drove 9 hours to come play in the damn lake. Jennifer Juba, Dan Lamoose, Eric Steiner, Sal Licardo, Jay Neufeld, Heather Neufeld. It blows my mind to the extent you will all drink my Kool-Aid, and I love each and every one of you for that, and the rest of the Stripped Down crew who couldn't make it today. This has been, again, the bar has been set for Halloween. The bar has been set for Stripped Down. It was a tough night. I'm cold. It's hard to ask questions when you're cold. How hard is it to play when you're cold and you have no sleep?
Nigh impossible. This guy can do it.
Not easy.
Okay, for all things Old Joe and the Truth Hurts, where can people go?
All things, we have a website, truthhurts.ca. It's updated every year or two.
Okay.
That's not a guarantee, though.
Are you guys touring, or did you just do that one offshoot in Edmonton?
We did that one, but we're gonna go. We're gonna do a little bit more weekenders in the next little while.
Out of town,
And,
play some more in town.
yeah.
New album we're gonna start working on soon, so there'll be a lot more from the Truth Hurts camp
Next
than
spring,
there had been in the past year or two.
we'll kick it up heavily, probably, May, April, something like that.
All right, you guys ready to wrap this up? Halloween 2009 from Crystal Lake, Saskatchewan. Old Joe and the Truth Hurts. Any final thoughts, Devin?
Just thanks for having us. It's an extreme pleasure to be asked to come here in the freezing, frigid lake shore coldness, and
It's an honor.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Yeah, Joe?
Same as Dev said, I hope everybody enjoyed the show as much as we did.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about going for a dip.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to play us out, I understand. You have some pre-recorded spookiness
Yes.
that just fits this occasion so
Exactly.
perfectly. What is this? What are we going to hear? Because we're just going to play it straight from the camera. You have it like on an iPod going into the camera. What is this?
What you're hearing is a number of years ago I decided I would score movie music, horror movie music specifically. This is the first and only song I ever did for the horror movie that does not exist. I was hoping to just shop it out and see if someone was interested.
No dice.
Still possible.
You will use
no
it?
dice, my own fault. Totally.
All right. Thank you again, Old Joe and the Truth Hurts.
Thanks
no
a lot.
sleep, cold. We're in the water here at Camp Crystal Lake. 100 thank yous.
No
This has been
place
so
to
much
be
fun tonight. Halloween 2009. We're going to play the audio. We're going to get out of here. Happy Halloween from all of us here at Strip Down.
Play your scariest chord. How'd that look?
Curtis, that was badass.
That was badass.
Here, pull.
I'm gonna go get one of those blankets, I think.
Dude, that was close.
Yeah.
Well, at least you skin a bear for the occasion.
Yes. The other one? Yeah.
Yeah, come on, everybody. San Ricardo, camera dude, pan over to the lights there. Look what's going on. Just pan over to the lights there. It's like freaking raining or something. I don't know. We're at Crystal Lake. Anybody got the time? Anybody? You know what time? It's late. We just finished shooting. Curtis just went in the lake. It is October, and he did that, and that is just the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Curtis, how do you feel?
I'm actually in a happy place right now. I just kind of assumed going into Crystal Lake in the middle of the night I'd be dead. I'm happy I'm not dead. My head went under and I saw the souls of all Jason's victims.
And speaking of the souls, looks like we're sacrificing one of them there. Look at that. Oh, no. Stop, drop, and roll. Dan Lemoose. How you doing, buddy?
I'm cold.
Yeah, I'll betcha. How about Eric Steiner? What
Awesome.
are you?
Good.
Yeah, you brought your own camera out to the shoot, and is it still working?
I hope so. I'll find out.
That's more than my camera's doing. Jennifer Juba. What do you say?
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. And Joey from Old Joe. Tell the camera how you're feeling, sir.
I'm feeling great. It's been a great night. You guys, hold on. You guys want a fun shot here? Check this out. Here's my boot. It doesn't stop. Tonight's episode was brought to you by hypothermia. That's that happy place you're in? Yeah. Death by hypothermia is always preceded by a feeling of euphoria.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling great. A little tired, a little frigid. Circulation is at an all-time low, but other than that, great.
My name is Eric Steiner. I do not endorse anything you have seen this evening. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best.
That thing's got to be smeared. You're gonna smear that thing. I had this lady come up to me after the show and she goes, "Des, you're an idiot." This again? Why now? She goes, "The pap isn't something inside the vagine that requires